All right, good day, everyone. We're back again. It's your facilitator, Jonathan here. The last part, which we saw how we create a Flask um, project. We started it, though we are not done with it yet. We saw how we could install um, Visual Studio Code as the IDE that we'll be using. It's a free one. I forgot to mention that. And here we're back again. We are going to continue from where we stopped. And before we commence, please remember to subscribe to this channel if you haven't. It's a way of encouragement. And also click on the like button so that as soon as we upload new videos, you will get alerts or notification. Okay, and remember to also share this channel with your friends that are interested in programming. All right, I have opened our project. Like I said, I'm going to do a little introduction. We don't need to go to the command line, system command line anymore. Okay, um, our IDE here comes with a command line. So to access that, go ahead and click on View and click on Terminal. That will open up the command line for you and take you to your root directory, especially when your project is open. So I'm going to close this. For you to open the command line without going through the view menu, go ahead, point your cursor down at the bottom of your window, click and drag it up, so automatically you have your command line there. All right, to save your file, you have your save button just like in every window application. We see your save will be showing here that you have not save your document, a notification. Here is your window to work with. Okay, I believe you're seeing my cursor. So I'm going to reduce our environment here. Can go ahead and create a file so that we can commence work immediately. So in your on your project, okay, go ahead and click, and here is an icon to create new file, and here is the one to create new folder. You can refresh here, okay, and you can collapse all here. So I'm going to create a new file and call it app.py. So py is the extension of our Python application. Go ahead and click enter. Automatically to open in the window for you to start typing your in my in our channel, or in the YouTube, I'm gonna make another tutorial on how you can increase your font size, set up your environment, change the theme, okay, and all those. Oh, sorry, I forgot to mention, for us to effectively work with Python here, we need to install a Python extension. So I don't need to um, don't need to wait or delay this. So I'm going to go to extension, okay, and type Python. It's working for me because I have already installed that. So choose the first one that comes up. Okay, you will see the number of people, number of downloads so far, and the version. Okay, all right, so we have 24 million downloads already. So that is the one we are looking for. Go ahead and click install. So you can see uninstall here because I already installed it. So go ahead and click on install, and when it's done installing, it will ask you to reload. Go ahead and reload. Python for VS Code, Thomas Hackinson. This is one just approximately 2 million downloads. So I'm satisfied with the one with the one I'm using. When you're done, you can join us back, okay, or continue with the video. All right, thank you so much. So I'll visit our Flask website again. Okay, let me open the tutorial. All right, so this is a simple Flask site I'm going to be using. So to work with Flask, it says we're going to install Flask. Pip install Flask. Okay. All right. So let's head back to our application and type pip install Flask. Hit or enter. So it will go ahead and install all those. And because I already have it, it's telling me that I have it there. So my version this is available. Go ahead. So it's installed. So I'll go ahead and paste the code that I copied. All right. What it says here is that we are importing Flask from Flask, because we have installed that. We will import that to start our application. And I implore you, just note the basic structure of your Flask application. Okay, it's very mandatory. It's very important, so that even if you're copying from the web and pasting, you know what you're pasting, and if you have error, you know what to edit. All right, app is equal to Flask in brackets. This is hyphen, sorry, underscore name underscore. It just tells it that the program starts here. Just this talking, making reference to this program. Okay. So the next one is to define our app routes. Okay. Flask is basically used for single page application development or API. Okay. So I don't know if you've heard anything about API before, application programming interface. Okay. So it's a kind of you know technological process that enables you to share your files out there, or allows different applications to access um your work. Okay. So like YouTube, you can access your videos and all those through their API. Developers normally make use of that. Okay. You can integrate to people's page websites to pick information via the API. Okay. So the way it works, we have um you type in the website and slash a method name, okay, or you're calling in the application, and it gives you the information you want. So we have a single route here, and it's defined. The method that is going to be referencing is called home. Okay, so it is this particular one is designed to just return hello home to us. Okay, so if name, okay, is equal to main, that is the main application that is making reference to here, go ahead and run our application. App.run runs our application. Okay, I can remove debug if I want, but making debug is equal to true allows our application to give us description of errors that might arose in the process of the design. So like I said earlier on, you see that it's telling me that my work is unsafe. You can see this notification here, so also tells you that it's not saved yet. So okay, just click on it and click on save all. So you don't need to go to file always and click save, okay, or save all. So you can actually do it from this place. Okay, so this is done. And let's just test the application. And to do that, we just type python app.py. That is the name of our application, and it will tell us that it cannot find the application, and that is because the application is in our environment folder. So go ahead and type cd vmv and bam, we are in it. So repeat the other command, python this, and press your enter. So that will run your application. And as soon as it gives you the local address to locate your file, go ahead and copy or go to your browser, type it. Okay. All right. So that will give us these resources that we have defined here. So I will go to my browser, open a tab and key in the local host address, and here we are, hello world. And if I change the hello world to python, excuse me, master class, and go ahead and save, always remember to save your file as soon as you type anything. When I used to learn how to program, I make that mistake a lot, and when you go to view what you have done, it will be so frustrating. You'll be saying this thing does not work, it doesn't work. What am I doing wrong? So the first thing I want you to get addicted to is saving your work. You can press your Control S on your keyboard to save. But wherever you have worked on multiple files, remember to come to this place and click on what? Save all. Thank you. And because we are running in debug mode, okay, our application actually our server restarts by itself. Okay, it doesn't wait for us to terminate and reissue the command. So it taps that it processes it automatically. So you notice that when I change from hello world to this, it only I only needed to save for it to run again. So that is basically um, the application, the way it looks. Okay, it renders it. So um, I'm gonna introduce also another um, program or application, another software. And we have used command line to install our Python and make use of Python. And for us to advance and do visually, we installed Visual Studio Code for us to edit and run our application. Instead of working on command line or using Notepad. Okay, you can see that this is highlighting some key, you know, um, words, debug and Flask. You can see they have all have different colors, and from okay, and my code is in green. Okay, and all these ones that are functions in the Python library are in different colors. Okay, and this is given another color to differentiate them. And if by peradventure you make a mistake, it won't run, it will throw up error. So please know the basic structures and make sure you memorize them. So I'm going to introduce us to another application. What the application does is to allow us communicate with our API. Like I told you, the API is meant is actually designed APIs so that other people can communicate with your system or your program and take resources, or you can consume API from other people's application. So there's a program that we can use to test our API. It's actually called hold on. So it's actually called Postman. So I'm going to search for that postman. My non-lock is on. Okay. Alright, so you can read up more or look for tutorial that teaches about postman to gain more information. But in future, I'm gonna, if I have the time, I will make out a tutorial on that. Okay, so it's actually for us to call our API and test it. So what we have done is we have developed an application that runs in a server. Okay, internally there is a server that is making this application process, and because it's processing on our system is called is referred to as local server, and to access it we use the URL 127.0.0.1, okay, slash sorry full colon the server port, okay, and this URL is just meant for our local system, and you can as well, instead of typing the IP address you're seeing here, you can actually write it out local host and it will work. Okay, so I will call up the postman. Oh, it's asking me to update. I'm not interested in this now. All right, this is your postman. Okay, I'm going to make a get request. I'll quickly do a request by opening a new tab. All right, so the URL request name. I don't have time for all these things. So we said is I said we can actually type local host. Then the port is what, 5000. I don't need any um search for a collection of folder. Local host. What is wrong? Okay, let me just not make multiple requests, but use this and send. You see that's Python masterclass. That is the result. Okay, you can view it in HTML, you can view it in JSON format. Okay, this is actually in HTML. All right, so like I said, we could have, instead of typing that, type local host, okay, column that, and it will give us the same result, Python masterclass. All right, so I will minimize this now and go ahead and modify. So what if we add another function, so that instead of returning only make calling the only the routes, that we could actually define another route that will be calling. So that is the advantage of using API or uh, a, uh, this kind of format for your application, so that at a particular time I just call a particular folder. I'm sorry, a particular method. You know, you could have method that returns hi, method that return hello, method that return this. But this is not just your application anyways. This is just an introduction. By the time we start developing real application, you will see how we can modify all these functions to powerful commands or processes. Okay, so I will visit the web page where I got that. Okay, let's look for another example. Okay, this is a modified example. having two functions. So I will take the second function and bring it up here. Control V to paste. Okay, I believe there is no error here. So this is talking about Salvador. I could actually use Joe here. Call my method or function Joe, and hello Joe. Okay, so I'll go ahead and save my work. Then let's call it up. You can see that my server is starting. Call it up in Postman, and this particular one calls the first function, and the second one, if you want to make reference to it, you know that we gave it a link name, so we must use that name to reference it. So, and it says hello Joe. So whatever name that is given after the slash is the name that you use to access the function. Okay, thank you so much. So this is basically how it works, and this is an API, full-fledged API, irrespective of the process that it undergoes. So what we have done so far is a basic greeting message, but without any beautification. And for us to do that, it is time for us to get introduced to other branches, that other things that you use to develop a full-blown website. Okay, all right. So for me to explain these parts, I will take us back to the website. All right, Python website. This is our own website. It's looking so scanty. Okay, so scanty. This is another website, kind of a blog. Okay, this is another website. Okay, kind of a blog. All right, so this, you can see image, you can see a smaller font here, a big font, you know, text, paragraph, no, okay, color here, yellow, blue. So what makes this different? Things categorized and put in a group form or tabular form. Here again, put in sections. Okay, there are basic tools that you can use to achieve this, and one of them is called HTML. Okay, all right, so we have talked about Python. For you to have a fine website, not really fine, a structured website, you must make use of HTML. And for you to have a beautiful structured, beautify your structure, give them different colors and all those, you must apply CSS. Okay, so HTML is called hypertext markup language, while the CSS is called cascading style sheets. Okay, all right, so this put together will beautify your site. So I can actually have a site without this code Python. I can eliminate that and have my basic site. Do you believe that? Yes, of course. So with that, I don't even need Python set up on my system. I can actually use only HTML and CSS to beautify it and get my site running. And how does that work? Is that really possible? Yes, of course, it is possible. So I'm going to just demonstrate that. You have some tags that you need to work with to achieve that, but um, I'm not going to use the tag now. I'm just going to say h1. Actually, h1 is a tag. I'm going to say Jonathan. Okay, and all those up there, and I'm going to save the file, and I'm going to save it on the desktop, and I'm going to call it HTML. Your website have what we call naming convention. So this will explain a little now. HTML. What do I mean by naming convention? There is a web page that loses when you visit a particular site, okay? And sometimes the names of these web pages does not show. Okay, this is a web page, it doesn't show. There is a way HTML or your server engine, your website's World Wide Web recognizes it, okay? And it's a general convention that everybody uses. And usually those days when um, internet was first recognized, we used to call it default page, okay, or home page, but these days it's called index page, okay. We use index, but nobody's forbidding you from using home, and nobody's forbidding you for using um, default, but just that those names and don't they no longer use them. Okay, so we basically use index, and when you visit that URL, what the server is going to do is it will look through your folder, your current folder, your root folder, and look for index.html. By the time it doesn't find it, it will look for home, and if it doesn't find home, it will look for default. Okay, all right. So depending on your programming language, you have default.asp. Okay, for those that uses C Sharp or Visual Basic, and you have index.php for those that uses PHP. Okay, but for basically ordinary HTML, index.html. So always your first page should be called index, while others about us, contact us, you could use about us or about.html, contact.html, as the case may be. So I will go ahead and save this page. So it's going to be I'll use all files, call it index.html, and I will save it. So let's see what has happened to this file by going to our desktop index. Can you see that? It's not just ordinary file, it has that our website look. My default browser is um, Explorer, so you can see Explorer there. So I'll go ahead and double click it. Once you double click it, it will open. Okay, it's asking me which one do I want to use to open. So I'll use Google Chrome. Excuse me. So HTML is equal to hypertext markup language. CSS is a cascading style sheet. Why the other thing I have there is Jonathan. You have a website. You have your website running. So if you have any question, any further questions, you need resources, you need me to make another tutorial to expatiate on something, please do not forget to drop your charts or your question in the chat comment area of your YouTube. Okay, thank you so much. So I'm gonna put a stop to this. By the time we come next time, I will show us full structure of HTML and how you can incorporate that into your Python code. Thank you so much. Do not forget to subscribe. After subscribing, click on the bell notification icon so that as soon as I upload the next video, you will have it. Thank you. See you in our next class.